fly. Let me find new kinds of highs. We're just wasting here, waiting for another year.
Peekaboo, you guys. Hello. Hello. Yes, I am still alive. It is Fit Greek. So, if you don't know me, first of all, I am a retired military fitness instructor. I've now competed in about 15 bikini bodybuilding shows. And yeah, did school for nutrition, decided to stop. Anyways, subscribe. But anyways, let's just get into today's video. So today's video is on a recap of where the heck I've been. So if you've been following me here, follow me here at IG, FitGreek87. Yes, you'll be seeing the whole life of me for the since October. So we've been doing bikini shows, as you all know that I do. So if you caught my last video, I'll plug that in for you guys. I had a chiropractor accident, so we were starting off with a new set point. And so 2 months of no lifting in July and August. So for my first show, it was NPC. That's the federation I do compete in. There's a few in the past I've done with OCB and NSAF, all that stuff. So I did my own production here out in Arizona, and that was March 8th. So pretty much what I was doing was I began bikini prep in October, the start of October, and I pretty much was in the mindset that I would be competing the start of the year. So I was in meal prep containers, getting myself ready for that, because for me, I don't really eat any different when I'm off season, you guys. This is so important. If you plan on ever competing or just having a very nice physique year-round, lifetime and all that stuff, or the long haul, you just gotta be really mindful about what you're sticking in your mouth. AKA dressings, mainly dressings, and any snacks, I would say. Anything fatty, because fat loves to trigger the brain saying, I love it and I want to eat more and more of it. So that is why I was very mindful about meal prepping. Came around March, I ended up still staying within those meal containers, not rationing anything. As far as water also, I did not do anything crazy, no diuretics, no nothing. I pretty much hydrated to dehydrate, if it makes any sense, but pretty much cutting out your water day before and the day of the show. In that show, I did do Masters 35 plus. That was the overall goal, because I did turn 35. And why the heck is my face so blotchy, you guys? Oh my God, okay? Did Masters 35, did first responders. I always do first responders. I do it just more of like a fulfillment, you know. It's something that I serve my country, and you know, you don't get a lot of women in bikini who have served. It's always men. So, you know, I'm gonna strap on that bikini and my heels, and I'm gonna do us proud. So I always do it whether there's no medal or medal, 20 girls or no girls. Point being, and then the last one was open. So I was first up pretty much with bikini, and it was first responders, and Lord have mercy, I was the only one, along with a fellow friend that I met. He did classic bodybuilding, and he was the one other trooper who competed in the first responders for Miles production. And honestly, we didn't have much to compete against, only because it was just us. So really, they were flipping me left, right, and about face, if you get that reference. They were checking front, back, left and right, fast. So I ain't gonna lie, my feet were tripping over each other. You know, you get your adrenaline going. I was very confident, actually. My physique has finally come about to where I want it to be. And unfortunately, for me this year, it had to be with calories versus being able to sustain a higher caloric intake and still get the results you want. So I was a lot more lean these two shows, or this year. And honestly, it was mainly so because I had quarantine, the the vid and quarantine and all that, and I had a full-blown gym, so that miles production of when I should have competed got pushed back. So anyways, I was able to rebound, bring up calories, and continue to train and build muscle and all that. It was just kind of like bodybuilding, you guys. It's science, it's scientific madness if you understand the sport and the science that goes behind it. But it's also a marathon too. It's not a sprint, it's not anything. Muscle just doesn't grow overnight. And even if you are on gear, you still have to put in the work and you still have to lift in order to grow the muscle. So with that being said, you know, I did well. Posing was on point because I was finally seeing the glute max and all the curvatures I needed, or the lines. So the judge said, really the only comment I got back from the judges this show was posing well, which kind of sucked, but the judges said they really liked my lines and my physique and everything, just to work on the posing. Then I took 4th in open, which was actually a little bit better, I have to say, after not have competed in 2-3 years, and with the ups and downs, chiropractor accidents, and not lifting for the last 2 months, and then trying to play catch up and starting prep. I mean, it's not ideal, but you know, I had a goal and I set it, and it was to compete after turning 35, which is what I did. Open is where you have girls of the same height regardless of age, and that's how they judge you. And so I have to say, freaking competition these days, ooh, I've been woke to that. It's crazy. Even the girls that are newbies with the beach body and no muscular, they're still even looking good and conditioned for what I used to see back 10 years ago, where women just put on a bikini and stepped on stage and it's like, did you ever condition? So like, yeah. Anyways, conditioning was fine. Honestly, I was still carrying a little bit of fat, even though I was still the same weight, really. I think I lost about at least a pound of fat in 1 month between shows. And honestly, like, that was because I didn't want to rebound. People always go with cheat meals, and honestly, if you go with cheat meals, I can usually tell that you've either dieted way too hard, or you're a first timer and you've dieted extreme, and now you're gonna rebound and put on weight, if not more weight, or you're just not gonna enjoy the sport. And usually people do this, and which sucks because they want to get conditioned and they set this as a end goal, which is fine, but that's not the way to go about it because it's such an extreme physique sport. You need to do what you need to do to get your physique ready for stage. With that being said, I did take 4th. I couldn't complain. Going up against girls that have never had kids, that don't have family, husbands and kids, and some that are first timers, some that weren't. Me being 35 and the up and the down roller coaster kind of sucks when you have that roller coaster because you can't stay consistent, and bodybuilding is a consistent sport. Anyways, we'll flash forward to Saturday, April 8th. I did just compete in the sister show of the Olympia, which was the Valley of the Sun, which was Wings of Strength. Hey. So with that being said, I did take 1st, 4th, and 5th. This show was definitely more interesting. I was a little bit more stressed. With this prep, I actually did have a coach to help me, I want to say, rebound from the last show. And I say rebound because I did not want to spiral out of control with food. So what my coach helped me did, well, actually what's stupid was I actually switched out total gyms like peak week of my first show because the sauna and everything was down. I'm like, beep this. So I moved to Lifetime. That was the best decision ever. Ice bath, sauna, jacuzzi, everything. And so that's been actually really helping my recovery as you're lifting weight and trying to put on muscle. For me, I know I need to push calories, bringing them down to get lean. I didn't want to do that this show because I didn't want to lose muscle, but honestly, you guys, you will lose muscle, but the thing is you want to prolong that. So hence, you've been building, you've been cutting. Then there's that point, maybe it's peak week or 2 weeks, or a week out from peak week where you can pull the trigger and maybe put more cardio in to really offset that deficit with calories being burned, so you can lose a little bit more fat, and it's closer to showtime when you're losing their muscle throughout the whole prep. You don't want to do that. We want to be gaining muscle. So honestly, this one show, actually I lost half a pound of fat and a pound of muscle, and I could tell in my bicep. I'm like, oh my God. So my coach helped me stay with this show. I ended up getting a little bit more lean. I actually was weighing everything out, and honestly, I don't think my food was too much far off. It wasn't like so much further off than what I was doing. It was just I was doing 3 meals a day versus 4 meals a day. So, and I was doing a lot more cardio. The only difference was this peak week I was using a thermogenic, which is a fat burner, because I didn't want to do much cardio. We were actually, honestly, this peak week I did less cardio than what I was doing my first show. And so, which goes to show, honestly, I wasn't doing anything more than 35, maybe 45 minutes of cardio, if that. And that was once a day. And that wasn't even every day either. And honestly, actually, I'm sorry. It was like no more than 45 minutes, but it was like a month out from show where I started adding in the cardio. So I didn't want to lose all that muscle that I've been working so hard. So with this show, we were only consistently doing like 15 minutes every day because we were including carbohydrates. Then he bumped it up 2 weeks in, 20 minutes, 25 minutes, then 30, and then I think peak week, we didn't exceed 35 minutes. So honestly, in the peak week, it was like 15 minutes. It was just to get circulation going, just to break a little sweat because we were still doing carbs. Honestly, the front load and the back load of carbs, I did not deplete or anything of that sort. So for me, I feel that I'm a person who does not need to deplete too many carbs if I stay measured and very focused on those. Meaning I'm not spilling over. And when you're spilled over, it means like you kind of look washed out. You look very smooth versus very cut, and you can see the abdomens. That means you're just juggling those numbers so that you stay shredded, but you're not spilt over. And that's why it's so important to look at your physique every morning. So we had high carbs throughout the day, which makes sense because you're going, and then no carbs during the day, but we did bump up fats. Honestly, I mean, granted I did drop calories, but honestly, honestly from my first show to this show, it was probably about a 60 calorie, maybe 70 calorie difference. So yeah, but I am excited. My physique of course looks better. If you go to IG, I'll put a picture for my day after show, but my physique looked really good, and honestly I probably could have stood to have a little bit of broccoli. Yeah, this magical broccoli. You wouldn't hear to have broccoli during peak week, but it actually really filled me out just right, and it was just enough broccoli, just enough fiber, just to extend everything without looking bloated or washed out. But you guys, leave comments down below if you plan on doing a show, if you want to do a show, if you have any questions. I'm not Miss Olympia. I'm not going to sit here and bullshit you, but I've been around the rodeo. I've been around the game. I take it seriously. I always train to place first. With that being said, other people are doing the exact same thing. And for bikini, it is very, very wishy-washy. You just don't know what the judges are looking for during that specific show or anything. But as far as this one, Wings of Strength, I did take first, fourth, and fifth again. And you guys, I was bikini competitor number 66. There was easily, well, of course, bikinis always outweigh classic and physique and fitness. We only had one girl that was fitness and 2 girls for wellness. So yeah, I'm predominantly bikini, so most people were walking off stage without medals, but I have to say competition was pretty good. So kudos to all those competitors, whether they were first timers. Well, backstage I could definitely tell who was competing for first time, only because they had their goodie bags with them, cakes, donuts, constantly pumping every 20 seconds and posing every 20 seconds. And honestly, the stadium that we were at, it was so freaking cold, you couldn't even get a pump on. Honestly, no one was even retouching up their tans. The only thing we were probably doing the last second before getting on stage was glazing up, and that's where they put the oil to make you look a little bit more sheen and more moisturized versus dried and crusty. But anyways, you guys, yeah, just shoot me. Oh, I also did change out connectors to a more thin link. The other one was kind of cutting in and made me look a little bit more boxy. I did straighten my hair versus doing the voluminous hair. I always do my makeup. My girlfriend, she still does my spray, which love you because it looks still amazing and I'm still trying to rock it. But yeah, I mean, honestly, you guys, whatever you do, for me, I will plug in a picture of my cheat meal, and seriously, like, that is what I had and went to bed. Yeah, I mean, cheat meals will only kind of screw you up, and I'm still technically in season. So what happened is I was going to compete in June, 18 June in Vegas, but thing is I still have muscle. I lost 1 pound of muscle with all this said and done. I can't afford to lose any more muscle weight because of, remember, my starting point, and I say my starting point was because I was a little bit more lean on the upper body and I was still able to work my lower half. That's why it really came in way quicker and better this bikini season. But I had to be more mindful, train more mindful, lower the weight, really hone in on the muscle to like really work what I was wanting to work, not just left with an ego. So, yeah, so now we're kind of I'm bringing up calories right now and in hopes that, you know, I can get out of my funk, you know, or, well, you know, you kind of want to come out of your show, your peak week, slowly and efficiently. And with that being said, for me, I personally keep proteins high, stabilizes my insulin, and keeps sugar cravings at bay. Guys, I know this video is going on forever. I probably won't do much editing. Hopefully you watched, you stayed to the end. Peace. I will let you guys know about what's going on in July, so follow me at Instagram here and subscribe, and I'll see you guys soon. Hey, don't forget to watch these 2 videos. They will help you, whether it is carbs or whether it is food or working out. I got you. Take care. Have a great day. Bye.